Welcome to American Press Productions, independent political analysis. Our featured story today is Wisconsin pushes to give illegal aliens driver's licenses, the decline of trust in American government. But first, the daily headlines. House Representative Ocasio-Cortz has pledged to increase transparency and reduce the influence of dark money in politics. But it seems her top aide, Chief of Staff Chakrabarty, has funneled over $1 million in political donations from PACs into two of his own private companies, according to a complaint filed with the Federal Election Commission. PACs are required to report all expenditures, but Chakrabarty's private companies are not subject to any campaign finance laws, so there's no telling what the money was spent on. The complaint names Ocasio-Cortz and Chakrabarty. It asks the FEC to investigate and audit the PACs that transferred money to Chakrabarty's private companies. In 2016, Chakrabarty was an organizer for the Bernie Sanders campaign. Before this next story, we must remind all our listeners that diversity is our strength. A primary school in England, Parkfield Community School, has seen over 600 of its students pulled out by their parents, of which over 98% are Muslim, because the school sought to teach these children aged 4 to 11 about homosexuality. One mother, whose daughter was pulled out of the school, said she would rather leave the country than have her child attend these lessons. One family has reportedly already left England to return to Pakistan. Some parents said Islam did not accept homosexuality, while others said that while they weren't against it, they were against it being taught to their children. The school has no plans to drop the program. The British government is creating a new compulsory relationships program that teach tolerance of same-sex couples and transgender people. And now for our featured story. Wisconsin pushes to give illegal aliens driver's licenses. The decline of trust in American government. In John F. Kennedy's inaugural address, he spoke the words, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." He was explaining the system of trust integral to a high-functioning state and society. But the system of trust is a two-way street. It only works when both sides can trust that the other will pull their fair share. Trust in government means that one's own compliance in state and societal institutions is rewarded in the shared benefits produced by all members of the system. This means that while you may produce more than your neighbors, you still trust them to abide by societal norms and values that you hold yourself and expect in others. So that when you pay your taxes, effectively the salary for government employees, you can trust that those government employees will work to preserve that very same system. The higher the trust, the higher the social cohesion, the higher the rates of voluntary compliance in both state and societal institutions. The higher the rates of voluntary compliance means the state can spend less resources ensuring every member pulls their fair share in the system. Studies have shown that the higher the rate of social cohesion or group affiliation, group cooperation increases. Group members then show a higher concern for social goals, such as concern for others, and are less likely to cheat the system to achieve personal financial gain. America's trust in their government is at historic lows and has been trending downwards ever since 1965. From government corruption to government ineffectiveness, Americans lack a crucial trust in their government. They don't believe their government will do or is even capable of doing the right thing. And now, more than ever, the right thing is subjective unto a diversity of opinions. When Kennedy gave his inaugural address, he was right in asking for the people to do what they could for this country. But now, with corruption and partisanship infecting our government, the people are correct in withholding their trust. The government as a whole is no longer working for the majority of Americans. So who, other than themselves, is the government working for? Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers, Democrat, has announced that illegal aliens who reside in Wisconsin will soon be eligible for a state-issued driver's license. Governor Evers argues this move will strengthen Wisconsin families. Republicans in the state believe this might encourage illegals to vote, and with reason. Texas Democrats, including Beto O'Rourke, have encouraged illegals to vote in Texas elections. Green Bay Police Department Chief Andrew Smith supports the move because, as he points out, illegals are going to drive anyway, so let's legalize it. Such a bold and revelatory outlook could set the precedent to end all crime in this nation. But Wisconsin isn't the first state to give illegal aliens driver's licenses. 12 other states already do, including California, who enacted the law in 2015. California hired an extra 1,000 government employees at the Department of Motor Vehicles in preparation for the law. If those employees made just the state minimum wage of $12 an hour, that would be $480,000 per month, or $5.76 million per year of taxpayer money used to ensure illegal aliens get a driver's license, not to mention the cost of government employee benefits. Some believe this move also encourages citizens of other countries to move to America illegally. Since the 1965 Immigration Act, immigration from our southern border has risen dramatically, peaking in the 90s and settling down to currently between 1.5 and 3 million legal and illegal immigrants entering this country per year. And that comes with a huge cost to the taxpayer. In 2016 alone, the cost of illegal immigrants to the taxpayer was $116 billion, and that cost continues to rise year over year. The formula to arrive at that number did calculate in taxes paid by illegals, which in 2016 was an estimated $18.9 billion. So the question comes down to how much do you trust the current government to preserve your rights, your way of life, your values, even your life? How much are they truly representing you instead of their own priorities?